that I edit. The good thing I edited the videos. I can't promise you that it's going to be top notch reading from the card because I haven't learned how to read from the cue cards yet. I'm still finding this thing out. Okay, 1 2 3 1 2 3 in the place to be. I'm your host Adam Mill. To the right of me is Sikaz the Governor. You have Skills Mega. You have the Jam. You have Ty, and you have Quan Bizzle right here to my right or left. And we have a special guest in the building. Lyfe the Oracle. Come on, y'all. Let's give her a clap. Let's do this. Come on. Stop playing. Come on. Um, there's no secret that I am a life stan. You know what I'm saying? And she has been killing it in 2025, and I'm excited. I'm more excited to see what she's going to do in 2026. So, Ty, you're the head interviewer, man. Just don't act
Okay.
shy. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
So we
I guess we could just start off by can you tell us about the Liberoso album and some of the themes that you were exploring in that album?
Yes, so Liberosis, my last project, it's really Liberosis and the Symphony of Obscure Sorrows. It was inspired by an author named John Koenig, who has a dictionary of obscure sorrows, and Liberosis is one of the words in that book, um, or in that dictionary rather. And the word means to basically want to let things go and be liberated and or feeling free, and to care less about things, the way my life had been going for a long time, I always knew I wanted to do something in hip hop music in general and hip hop culture. But like just certain baggage I had, I take accountability for my life. So just saying certain things I had faced in my past was haunting me, so when I discovered that dictionary, I had just been scrolling and I really like the word really resonated in my soul, so I was like, oh, I got all these songs where I've been kind of trying to pinpoint a way to talk about the things I had been going through, and that word basically summed it up, you know um yeah, I had been blessed to work with some dope producers on that project. So it was just various songs that I had, and collectively they had a similar kind of nuance. So the word just tied everything together and made it stick.
Okay. What was your approach to, I guess, writing some of the rhymes and the songs and scripts on the project? What's your creative process like?
I love beats, boom bap beats, And so, I'm a daydreamer anyway, and I love music. So I'm always making up songs in my head, songs I may not even record. But if a dope beat comes along, then man, them words just start coming out. Sometimes a beat will write itself. If you really connect with the beat, sit
Okay.
down. Other times it may take me a couple days to tell the truth to really get something that I really like. Other times it could take me 20 minutes to write a song. Um, because I might already have a concept, it just depends. It varies.
I like to ask a real quick question. When you say it takes 20 minutes to write a song, right?
Hmm.
When you let's say you take that song to the studio and you lay it down or whatever, um, does that does that song make the album, or do you say, "Yeah, I took too it was too fast writing this particular song"? I mean, as far as your writing process, is it better to take your time with a song or like whatever comes to mind and then lay it down? I mean, what's better for you as far as the process of making a song? Is it better to take your time making a song or writing a song, or like you said, something jotting down something that you thought about in 20 minutes? What is better for you as far as the process?
It really depends either, because sometimes like you don't feel an emotion strong until you're in the moment. Sometimes it's like the difference between summing something up before you feel it and after. Like when you in an argument, you want to say a whole bunch of stuff, so it might just come out real quick, boom, and you just done said it a lot. And other times, since you don't feel that way, you're not even thinking that way, so it doesn't come out as fluidly. It may take you longer to connect with that emotion, so either way, it's either way, um is appropriate. But oftentimes it's better, I would say, to spend some time with a beat and really marry the beat, really connect with it. So I don't know, some beats speak to me quick and I could write something real fast because that beat just happened to slap. But other times I may have to study the beat so that what I'm saying will resonate, and give the beat the proper, like, credit it deserves, let it marinate and simmer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could get a quick meal and be satisfied. Sometimes you put something in the crock pot, let it cook up, and you get something that's so flavorful, you know what I mean, that it was worth the wait.
I'm sorry, Todd, for cutting you off, and I also want some of the other brothers from the panel to ask questions about your process and what you have going on now and in the future too. Um, but I had one more question. What do you think? What should an artist overthink their project?
Mm. Um, yes and no, like in today's society, right? Because if you want to be, like, it depends on your audience. If you want to be commercial, you might have to think about that approach and really cater to that audience, so it may take you time to really think out all the details and things like that. Other times it's not good to overthink something, because then you'd be just sitting on a project for a long time and you might got some dope sitting there and you don't even realize it because you thinking it and you waiting. But it's people that need to hear raw, organic thought, and you just done overthought it to the ground. You know what I'm saying? So you don't
Yeah.
want to do that. But you do want to take consideration onto the audience you're trying to reach, and whether your words are hitting over beats. But sometimes you just gotta let it go. I got a friend who like to say, send it, bro. Just send it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially if you're already a kind of a thoughtful person. The garbage that's being put out here to the masses nowadays, that they don't put any thought to. So how dare you torture your mind and overthink something that could be beautiful?
Yeah. You hear that, Gov? Put your album out, man. Stop competing with the detox. Uh,
Some good, it's straight garbage out here that's
stop,
selling.
Oh,
stop
no.
competing with the
You know
detox,
what I'm
Gov. So
saying?
we can Gov like that. That's my co-host. That's my man.
I know a lot of people who are like that, just overthinking stuff.
Gov like that, man. Gov like Gov. Just put your album out. Stop competing with Dr. Dre, please.
Yeah,
Um,
Because
that's
you could
question.
always, like, do something else too. If the first one don't hit, then come
I
on
think
out with another one, the
I think we
sequel, the
I think we
sophomore.
I think we suffer from being perfectionists. Like when my album dropped, I had a million and one negative things to say about it. You know what I'm saying? And some things were on point. Like I won't go. It's not about me, so I ain't gonna go into it. But for us, the mix and mastering, I went through a struggle with that and a whole craziness story behind that. But
Yeah,
I was like, yo, but I got so tired of sitting on it. So I just
yeah.
said, there you go, world. There you go.
Yeah, I've heard that project. I think that project is really well rounded and dope. It's articulates a lot of what the hoods are experiencing,
I
and
appreciate it. Thank you.
yeah, some people don't articulate in that fashion, and then thinking about others is selfless, the project itself. So I think it's really dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I went in Jam's top 10, and I had to force Gov to put me in his top 10. But anyway,
Deep.
uh, but, but
Yeah.
But what Ty, you have any more questions? I know you got a slew of questions, and I want the panel to ask us some questions
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So, um, so you went to Riverside's Art and Magnet School.
I did.
How
Oh, shut.
See, we on top
how
of our game.
Y'all done
See,
did some
damn, stop it,
homework.
stop it.
I
so
actually studied acting and
acting, because I
theater.
see I see that you do a little screenwriting. How
I
does
do.
that affect your creative process?
Well, oh, how can I answer this question? Because the first thing that popped in is, well, it's hard. Screenwriting, it's a hard avenue to break into. I think so myself. Maybe I still got to do some sub work on my subconscious to really think positive in that aspect because of um the higher ups, the people that are making the movies. Like, how do you, as an independent writer, tap into that avenue, that lane? But with my writing movies, it does help when it comes to writing rhymes for real, because I want my rhymes to tell stories at times. I really want them to speak to the emotion that I was feeling at that time so I can let go of it. So, and
Right,
most movies, they're about just the way people feel, certain thoughts that cross your mind, and scenarios that, sometimes fiction, sometimes they're faction. So it could be based off of something real, but you add a little bit to it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So,
right.
which is the premise of most hip hop music, is just like it's a mixture of those things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, theater really, it really helps in a major way to my writing style in particular. Yeah.
Okay. And I know in addition, you also do visual arts and poetry. Is that
I do. I'm a poet at heart for real. I wouldn't say visual art. I paint a little bit, but it's
you being
definitely a
humble right now?
skill. No, it's a skill because it's like this. Like, you could say you do something until you're around those that really do it and really are
Right,
passionate.
That's
Now,
why. I'm
yeah,
sorry, but that's why I told Skills. Me and Skills had a conversation, and I said, no, I don't consider myself a rapper MC. I consider you guys rappers and MCs because you guys had did all the check, the check boxes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all perform, y'all write, y'all cipher, y'all battle. You get what I'm saying?
yeah.
Y'all take this thing serious, serious. You get what I'm saying? So it'd be disrespectful for me to even call myself an MC. I'm just a person who like music and does music, but just to piggyback off your point when you was talking about the art,
Mm-hmm.
to your realm,
Yeah.
real heads that do it. You get what I'm
Like
saying?
I dabble into visual arts. I dabble, but
okay,
there are some people that really they breathe that. You know what I'm saying? They wake up and they just create amazing art pieces.
oh
You know what I'm
no,
saying? I see on the gram, like, more people, more black people doing stuff. There's this African brother who he just throws paint on his face, and then he'll just do it with his fingers and hold it upside down. Doing He'll paint the shit upside down and then hold it up, and it's exactly how he painted it on his face. Do it live right there in your face. You know what I'm saying? So there's levels to everything. You know what I
okay.
mean? So yeah, I respect the craft in every way. So, I dabble into certain things because they're a form of release for me, but I can't call myself, that I can't say that that is what I do. I write. I write.
I understand, but it
Respect.
gets your creative juices going. Is that sometimes a part of the process before you write rhymes? Like just do a little
Um
bit of painting or
I paint at times because I like to do things that are like ooh, I don't want to say metaphysical because I've been in a recent conversation about that and like spirituality. You know, people look at things in a different manner, but I
Uh-oh. You
She
still there?
froze on us. I think she froze on us.
Uh-oh.
When she come back, I'm gonna let Gov or Skills or Jam go first, and then I mean, what whatever order
my
y'all.
fault. Ooh, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear you.
can
I
hear you.
got a phone call, so I think I'm frozen.
well, you good, you good. Hold
Hold
on.
on.
You good, you good.
All right.
You good, you
But
good.
like I sometimes I just like to throw ink on the canvas, right? Or just put ink out there or do shading and then see what images I can pull out of there. One time I did that. I drew a dragon and a girl that was killing a dragon. And I just did that by accident. It drew itself. You know
Mm.
what I mean? By the way I was doing with the pencil and stuff, like scribbling on it and then bringing it out, tracing what you see, objects you see. I just do it as a form of therapy, um, not necessarily connected to um, rap music or hip hop. It just feels good sometimes, you know? Like if
I
you're a
believe it's
true,
all connected though, because that's
yeah,
that's talent right there. It's all connected. That's just
yeah,
your
Sure
energy
is.
is channeling in a different form. It's a lot of people can't channel their talents in different ways. That's your energy going to a different dimension, if you will, and expressing itself. Oh.
yeah.
Uh, Ty, we're gonna go back to you, Ty. Anybody else on the panel want to ask Life some questions about the album or whatever the case may be?
Well, first and foremost, I want to give Life her props. I feel that the album was fire start to finish. I feel that it has no skips, and I think that it's going to be or should be a strong consideration for album of the year next year at the Baltimore Crown Awards. You know what I mean? I think that it's a great example of not only Baltimore boom bap, but just a Baltimore album, period. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask, how did you choose the features, right? Because there's not many features. How did you choose how did you choose who you chose, and how did you know that you wanted them specifically for the songs that they were on?
First of all, thank you. I'm humbled by what you just said about my project. You know what I mean? I'm so thankful that anybody even listening to my joint. And my choices were based on certain elements of what I was hearing. I'm a loner one, you know what I mean? I don't click with too many people. So if I just have so happen to click with you, um in this art form, you know what I'm saying, and you resonate with the music and you can feel what I'm trying to say, that's a special thing because I consider myself to be an abstract kind of person, you know what I'm saying? So I have a feature on there off the top. Um um Let me think.
I like the joint that you got with
Encyclopedia's on there.
I like him and I like
Shout
Lee
out Michael
Stevenson's.
Peter.
Lee
Yeah,
Stevens,
Shout
that's
out
his
Lee
name.
Stevens too.
Yes, sir.
Lee.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And there was another. Oh, Elder X. Oh my God, how
That's
could
the
I
first.
forget?
That's the opening track.
Yes. So let me
Yeah.
tell you about that. So, like I said, you know, I walk alone. You know, most of the time, I do my own thing. I march to the beat of my own drum, as many of us do. Many of us MCs we do. So this brother, he just had randomly hit me like many years ago. It might have been 2020 when he really reached out. Like I was going through it with my children. I'm a mother. And so I was going through like some real ratchet teenage phases with my girls, and it was very hard because I was trying to keep food on the table, which I talk about on the project in a song called What's Up. You know what I mean? Like these songs is my real life. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But that brother would just tap and be like, "You all right? You know, what's going on with you?" You know, if I would get too quiet, he would like kind of just inbox me on some, hey, what's going on with you? I haven't seen you posting. And so we connected on a real level. You know, he shared, I was scared to tell people my story for real. It wasn't something so braggadocious that I could brag about. It was like true pain, you know what I'm saying? And Elder X, he's a poet, but he's faced adversity in very heavy ways. He was carrying some heavy weights. So he just started releasing certain things he was going through, that, and by him sharing his pain, it kind of freed me a little bit. So, I was kind of forced to be still, practice stillness. I'm not one that like to practice stillness, but God brought me to a place where I had to sit down, and I wasn't even really getting beats that was speaking to my soul. But then probably 2024, um this producer named Swagzilla reached out to me and was like, yo, you're dope, I see your freestyles, because I spit freestyles on Instagram, Facebook, when I ain't have no real studio to go to, or like no consistency, because my life was erratic. So the brother started sending me beats, and that one in particular that I did with Elder X um was called Guillotine, you
Yeah.
know,
Very first
Liquid
song.
Swords. Yeah. And it just had a raw effect on it. And I was like, ooh, if he just dropped something on there, just talking about life for real, and the
You dropping
pain and
sign. You
getting
definitely
through it.
dropping signs on that.
Yeah.
Can
So
I ask you a question about that song? Get
yeah.
to you real quick. Was
Yes.
y'all in the studio together when that happened, or he sent you his verse?
Well, actually, he's down south. I think he's in North Carolina. So he sent me that on the phone. That was a voicemail. I
Mm,
said, yo, because we was trying to figure out how we was going to do that. And he was like,
yeah.
and I was like, yo, just send it to my phone. And so he just recorded in my phone, sent it to me. Thanks to Mark at Street Legal in Baltimore, right there, 112 East 25th Street, to those looking for a studio. Just shouting Mark out because he's a genius with this. And the way
Shout out to
he,
Mark. Shout out to Mark.
Thanks.
man, the way Mark leveled that joint out, you really can't tell he didn't make it to the studio. You know what I mean? He did that. The other feature, Mike Lapedia, I really like Mike's style. He rhymes with a crew, as y'all know, DBL, Down by Law, and I really admire them, all of them, period. So to have one of them on my project was important to me. They've included me in showcases and things of that nature. So I really, I have a love for that group for real, and it
Very,
was
very,
time.
very,
Already,
very,
likewise.
Yeah.
very respected group for the time I known them, and very dangerous MCs, man. They you know what I'm saying? They snipers. Real talk.
Yeah, I
Um,
love what they do. So yeah. And the other feature, real quick, Lee, he shot some videos for me when I didn't even know I was doing Liberosis. I didn't even know what this was going to become. So, and I was like, yo, I got a song. It's called Shaking and Moving. I want to pay tribute to Tina Turner on that joint. And he was like, ooh, yeah. And the way we connected on the vision, like I'm telling y'all, I'm a theater. I'm into theater. So the way he really saw what I was trying to do, it really resonated with me. I was so grateful that I was like, yo, you gotta drop a verse on this joint. And he came through.
mm.
And another thing I like to add before I pass the mic, or my bad, before the next person asks a question. You know what I mean? But all jokes aside, like I feel like, and I feel like doing this, making this album was very therapeutic for you. That's the sense that I'm getting, right? And for a lot of us, music is very therapeutic, right?
Hmm.
I feel like all the features did a great job, right? but I also think like I don't know if this is just unspoken, or I don't know if they said it or if anybody said it, but like you were beating the beats up in a ferocious manner. Like you like it's still like the song structure was there, like, but the I don't know if because of how emotionally attached that you were to the songs while you were making them, were you aware that you were beating the beats up like that? Because to be frank, like I'm glad that there are features, right? And the features did their thing, but I can't
Yeah.
imagine that rapping with you on this project was an easy task. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of how you were attacking the beats. You feel me? And you were attacking the beats, but it was still enjoyable. A lot of MCs can't really, you feel me? Like that's a gripe about the lyrical style sometimes. And you know how we as MCs and artists on this panel, we know that there's levels and there's different classes as far as like what we do and as far as lyricism. You feel me? You have people that are lyrical, but you have people that their style is to bar out every time. Some people don't bar out every time, but they give you enough bars so that you feel like they were going in, but it's still an enjoy. It's not the easiest thing to bar out and make the song enjoyable. But I feel like
Yeah.
you did that. But I feel like you barred out at such a high level that it's kind of like it was a tall order. I think they delivered, but it very much so, in my opinion, was a tall order for them to rap with you because the level and the amount of focus and the amount of sincerity that your pen was bringing to this, they had to. There was no choice but to bring A games. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, so big ups to all of y'all, but I just feel like were you aware, like now that it's out and people are giving you feedback and things of that nature, I'm sure they telling you like you went off on every joint, but were you aware during, because I feel like sometimes like when you're making when you are making a project, like of course, if it's
Mm-hmm.
not hip, the benefit of being an underground hip hop is that for the most part, underground hip hop is a seller's market, right? So
Yes.
we know what dope is and we know what the people want, and we would never drop anything that we ourselves wouldn't cop, right? But did you
Yeah.
know that you were going that hard while you were making it, or did that hit you after it dropped?
Well, there are there's a space to fill, and those that came before me, those dope MCs that came before me, you know what I mean? We got KRS-One, we got Nas, you know what I'm saying? You got Mob Deep, you got Rhapsody out here killing the game, you know. I just want to leave a mark that is sustainable. So I really, my foster brother, okay? He is an MC and he makes beats. So he held me at a certain standard for most of my life. And then moving to Baltimore, you know, I my first people I connected with was like Dirt Platoon, Ill Conscious,
Shout out Rad for
DBL,
Snook, man. I
Shout
mean,
out to El Concha. That
you
boy
know what
is
I'm saying?
he's a problem.
thanks.
So, just hearing artists like that, you know what I'm saying? There's a bar set, and like, how dare I not try to reach that bar? You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel. Like, you know, people, you could throw things together. You know what I'm saying? It may not resonate with the audience that you're trying to hear if you don't tap into that that lane, in a manner that really respectfully matches what has come before you. You know what I'm saying? So I hold myself to a certain standard, and I don't want to ever be anything less than that.
Mm. I hear a lot of raw digger too.
I love Rod Digger. Oh God.
Yeah.
Rod Digger, Ladybug, Mecca. Um, the Lady of Rage.
Read.
There was a group Wu-Tang had out. They was called Five Deadly Venoms. That they all spit fire. Jean Grey,
Yes, indeed.
Sir
Yes,
Ciroc,
indeed. Yes, indeed.
um, the beautiful Hurricane G. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
rest in peace to her for real.
Yeah, Mia X. Um, I could keep going on and on with heavy spitters. Roxanne Shante,
Bahama Deer.
Bahama Dia. Oh God.
Yes,
You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? I even love like Soleil, the way she blends mysticism into the way she delivers, you know. Um, there's a queen that she's a Muslim, Neelam. Neelam. There are other queens out there doing their thing. I would recommend y'all check out Alligator Alfred right now. I'm
Send
amazed
me,
by her.
please send me that music.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
real talk. She real talk. There's
I would add Niru to for Fuji too from the astronauts, you know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
absolutely, absolutely, and so and the
I
list
listened to her
goes
album
on.
too. That joint was tough. I loved it. I loved it. And I'm gonna revisit it. You know, I get an inspiration from all you guys, man. Believe it or not, I do.
Hmm.
Jam.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, as an artist in music, speaking on the hip hop music side, what's your ultimate goal is in creating and writing hip hop?
Well, um, what's going on in hip hop right now is, you know, damn, can I say this?
Yes, I'll say.
Mm. When I was growing up in the 90s, in the early 2000s, I would hear rumors that hip hop was going to fizzle out and fade and it wasn't a true art form, right? And then what
Mm-hmm.
happened in the mid 2000s or whatever, it started to hold on one second. It started to go left, you know what I mean? Like in the 90s when I was a young girl, there was a lot of empowerment in the music. There was a lot of variety. You know what I mean?
Right.
The albums just released in one year between 96 and 97 were incredible. Um
Right.
and it was Nas, you got Mob Deep, you got KRS-One, just I don't want to name the same artist. You had
Queen
Atlians
Queen
came
Queen,
out.
Queen Latifah.
Yes, yes. And this is all 96, 97. You know, this De La Soul, so
The
much
score by the
variety.
Fugees.
Yeah, the Fugees, and you got like the themes they were talking about love and unity and there of course you got people that was talking about the hardships in the hood, you know what I'm saying, and selling drugs, but giving you the reason why they selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
it started to transform into bubblegum stuff that, of not no real substance, just things, shake your ass music, drink this liquor music, take these pills music. You know what I'm saying? After a while, and people are getting tired of that, you know. So, and those that really respect the culture, that want to deliver it in a way that it's not so toxic to our society and what we got out there. Yeah, you got to watch out for the pitfalls, and yeah, you got to be, we all want to be braggadocious and things of that nature, but we also have a responsibility to carry the torch for our babies. And what's crazy is most of those that do that music where there's a lot of toxicity in it, their kids is
Mm-hmm.
going to college and they're not really living that lifestyle. You know what I
Right.
mean? So um just what I want to do with my music is I want to be real. I want to be honest. I don't want to lie in my music. And that's my own fault too, because I've heard it a million times, people telling me, hey, you're pretty, you got to change your style, you could wear this, you could do that. And I'm like, I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that because that's not my real life right now. Maybe someday when that's my real life, I can kind of add that in there, sprinkle that in there a little bit more, but I'm still going to give you this substance because I'm a spiritual being. Despite my ups and downs, my mistakes, my highs and lows, success or failure, whatever. I'm still a human being at the end of the day. I'm not going to tell you to go out there and sell your soul. I'm going to tell you build for your family, you know what I'm saying? Educate yourself, educate your mind. You know what I mean? And that's what I really hope that I bring to the table, some substance, even through hardships, which is the result of my project. Is what Liberosis is saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Liberosis is a part of your ultimate goal. Um, and I got a second question too. My second question is sort of like a two-part question, but you can smush it into one.
Yeah.
Um, how are you feeling right now, like emotionally, and how do you feel about your project?
Mm. Well, I have come from some dark times, so I am in a period of stillness right now. Emotionally, I'm looking in the mirror, facing myself and who I am. And I find things that are beautiful about myself, but I also find things that I would like to improve on myself. You know, emotionally, I would like to be a little more emotionally astute, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's that feeling of wanting to be more free and not even care as much as I do. I care so much. And that's to a default, you know what I'm saying? Because I would give my all, you know what I'm saying? And people not doing that type of thing in this world, you know what I mean? How do I give back? Without giving my whole self, you know what I mean, save a little bit for myself so I sustain what I got going on and I don't lose myself in that, you know what I mean, like just being stronger emotionally. I'm developing that even at my age as a grown ass woman. I got work to do and I see it, and I'm grateful to be doing that work, you know, holding myself accountable, being grateful for the beautiful things I do have in myself and the things that I want to change. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Governor,
I hope that makes sense.
I made perfect sense.
Plenty.
Back on what I was thinking anyway. Like when you think
can't
about
can't hear you. Your mic not on, go.
your reaction, you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So, like the people that listen to your album, right, Liberosis, what have been the reaction to it? Like when you talk about like I like the way like you write the experiences, right,
Mm-hmm.
that you've had, and then you mentioned the point about when people go through things, there's a certain aspect of it that makes you feel like you're by yourself in it. It's like you're ashamed to mention it. There's a shame aspect that goes to this thing.
Mm.
So
Mm.
when you speaking to that aspect of it, there's people that you met.
Mm.
This is something that happens more commonly to just it's not as random, it's not as rare as we would think, as people would think that
Mm.
go through
Yeah.
this. So what have been the reaction that you've gotten from people that have heard that have gone through similar type of experiences? You know what I mean?
Well, I think people are at a time right now in the world where we want to hear reality. You know what I'm saying? That people, you know what I mean? Like, can I how can I say this? You know, the numbers. I say men lie, women lie, numbers lie now too, right? Because they boosting numbers out here to make a certain thing look more attractive,
Right.
right? So the response I'm getting from people is that they didn't expect for me to come off like that. You know what I mean? When I seen you, I didn't even expect for you to say these things. You know, it's still people are still surprised at the delivery that I'm bringing and the rawness, you know what I'm saying, that I'm bringing to the table. And yeah, I'm being honest about my life. Like I'm not sugarcoating anything, even my flaws. You know what I mean? So I think that's refreshing to people and they're finding it to be refreshing. We out here, people got cancer, yo. People are fighting cancer. People are fighting poverty. You know what I'm saying? There are people that have gone through traumatic events, you know, and I'm not saying hang on to that, but I'm saying once you let it go, you know what I mean? There's beauty on the other side of that waiting. I believe in that. And that's what you know, I find people really saying, you know, thank you for saying these things, you know what I mean, in your raps. And I hear it when I'm performing. I hear people like, you know, at certain things, they'll laugh at it. Like I say, I pray for brighter days and pretty boys that's going to jock us and not clock us. My people need to come up. So I hear people responding to that. Like, you know,
What I call it?
The volcano from out of Iceland that come to take over the rap game like the white man. Iller than Hitler, photobomb at Yahoo, read it by missile. Watch me do it like the Pointer Sisters. Slip arsenic in your corn liquor. Two bigger L's than that Aubrey nigga. From Pappy Mason to Pastor Mason, the church is vacant. Preacher with Bobby trapped in the basement. I'm laughing, just imagine the Sleepy Beauty had herpes.